What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we are on episode 4 of our Road to Platinum series, and today we are actually dropping the Dark Magicians. We are not running them anymore. Once we hit upper silver and things like that, I was just kind of getting burnt out a little, so I wanted to switch over to one of my favorite archetypes. Actually, probably my favorite archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh, which is Trap Tricks. It's a lot different playstyle than Dark Magician, but we are just going to get into it. I have one duel, actually, just one, just because it does run a little long, and I didn't want to have a super long video for you. So we do just have one Trap Tricks deck, and so here we go. And before we get right into the video, I do want to say thank you guys so much for the support, as always. If you do want to keep supporting me, all my links are in the description below. I would appreciate follows and things like that. And so let's go ahead and just get started. Let me switch over my games here, and we can go ahead and just get started. So this is Trap Tricks. The deck profile for this is actually on my channel. I'll link it at the end of the video. So yeah, here we go ahead and jump into it. So we are picking to go first. Trap Tricks, this is the deck you do want to go first in. And it is, I want to say it's important to go first, so this is our first hand. So, learning in this deck, you'll see that we have one main play for an opening hand. We need at least one Trap Tricks monster, and then we're basically set. But if we have an extender like Parallel Exceed that's in our hand, we can actually go ahead and continue to play a little more. So this play you see here is basically our turn one best play we can do. This is what we need. So starting off, like I said, this hand is fairly decent. We do have a couple interruptions on our own turn, and we do have Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity is a card that it's the best pot for this deck. However, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I've been relying on my extra deck a ton in this deck, so having the Pot of Prosperity here kind of hinders me in a way that I'm still learning how to play around. So things like that. So we do start with Trap Tricks Mermelio. When Mermelio is summoned, they can add a whole normal trap from the deck to the hand. And we do play Floodgate and Gravediggers. Gravediggers is very influential. I'm going to go ahead and pause it real quick. So Gravediggers Trap Hole, you'll see it a lot in these next upcoming duels in these next episodes. So what Gravediggers does is it basically stops graveyard effects, banished monster effects, and hand traps. So it will negate the effect and burn the opponent for 2,000, which is huge. So let's go ahead and just get started with that. I'm going to turn my mic down a little bit. Sorry if that's super loud. Okay, so going into Trap Tricks Sarah. Trap Tricks Sarah is definitely the lifeblood of the deck. You'll see what the card does, and Parallel Exceed is just an extender. So we're able to get a rank 4 here pretty easily. So usually our first turn board will look like this. We'll go into Trap Tricks Sarah and Trap Tricks Rafflesia, and we are able to just really sit on that to really control the pace of the game. Pardon me. So once Rafflesia is summoned, we're kind of having a pretty good play here. So activating Pot of Prosperity in the beginning, you want to activate Pot of Prosperity on the first turn. So we do ditch an Intis, our third Sarah, and a Link Spider. Actually, we do a Kularia, so we are going to keep Sarah. Like I said, Sarah is the lifeblood of the deck. She's definitely the best monster. And so having her is super important. And we do grab our Imperial Order, which is a huge Floodgate. So finding the Floodgate is actually awesome here. And setting 4 here, we talked about it in the last video. Setting 4 here, honestly, is not a very good play, because if our opponent has Lightning Storm, if our opponent has Harpy's Feather Duster, or something like that, we are absolutely screwed. So just keep in mind your card economy. You don't want to ruin your field advantage just by setting everything that's in your hand. End phase. So that's typically the first turn of this Trap Tricks deck. And it's pretty consistent, pretty standard as well. It doesn't look like a huge board, but we literally have all of the control thanks to Trap Tricks Sarah. And funnily enough, this duel we are dueling Dark Magician, and what do you know? We know how to fight Dark Magician. So activating Imperial Order here, it is a huge kick in the face, but we know how important Dark Magical Circle is, and so we are gonna stop that at any cost. Yeah. Alright, so they set turn. So Compulse is actually a fun trap in this deck. I'm not too sure if we use it here, but there is an interaction with Sarah. So Sarah's ability, whenever a normal trap is activated, you can, here, we're going to do it here. So when a normal trap is activated, we can special summon a Trap Tricks. And typically we will choose Trap Tricks Mermelio. Waiting on the opponent response. So we choose Mermelio here, because Mermelio has the effect when she's special summoned, she can activate and pop a spell or trap on the field. So we want to try and get rid of an Eternal Soul here if we can. Waiting on the opponent response. They do go ahead and activate Magician's Navigation, which is fine. With Navigation, they will get a Banish here. And then I'm unsure, I can't remember which one they go for here, but they go for the Apprentice Illusion Magician. And so, since Mermelio effect is activated, we can actually set a trap hole from the deck. So Illusion Magician will go off. Our version doesn't run Illusion Magician in the meta version, but our budget deck does warn it. So they ban the Imperial Order, which is fine, but actually Dark Magical Circle doesn't activate because the Imperial Order is set. So basically we have completely shut off their banishing. Not sure what this card is activating, but it is the Magician of Dark Illusion. But we can activate Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So like I said, it does negate effects that happen in the hand, and then it does burn the opponent for 2,000, which is very huge. Like, this card would be good if it just negated, but the burn on top of it makes it really like the best trap hole in the deck. So they are able to add their second Dark Magician. Sarah effect does activate. We can have our Floodgate now. Floodgate is the other trap hole. It's basically a Book of Moon, and you can't flip the monster up. So going here, not really much we can do. We're thinking we do activate the Pot of Prosperity here. And going through, we choose 3 just because I'm so unsure on what to ditch. So we do ditch the Baguska and the Zeus, just because I don't think we're going to be really exceeding a lot, and we go for our second Intis. But Pot of Prosperity is also Imperial Ordered. See, that's a big misplay. We're wasting cards. We banished, basically, for no good reason. Do not do this. Be aware of your field. It was a terrible misplay on my part to completely forget that we have Imperial Order, and it's a little embarrassing, honestly. So we are able to XC summon into the Vespanado. The misplay will kind of be unfortunate, but again, it is just trying to get better, trying to learn. That's what this series is all about. I've said this in every episode. So yeah. So going into the Vespanado here. Vespanado is a fun card. Whenever it is summoned, it does have piercing damage. And whenever it's destroyed, we can special summon a level 4 or lower. So we'll go over the Apprentice Illusion. They'll take 500. And then from there, we'll go into main phase 2. Kind of thinking, like, again, we are just still learning this deck at this point. So yeah. Like I said, Trap Tricks is one of my favorite archetypes. I've been in love with Trap Tricks since Hand format, or Hat format, I'm sorry. And Hat format was around 2014, 2015, I want to believe. So this deck, or this archetype has been around a long time, and it has stuck with me for a long time. One of my favorite players used to play Hat. He kind of revolutionized the deck, and then I fell in love with it from then. it really made me love control decks. And so Trap Tricks are super close to my heart. This is my favorite deck. And that's why I wanted to play it for the rest of this Road to Ranked. This is the deck that we will be piloting, or at least some version of this deck. This is what we will be piloting for the rest of our Road to Ranked in Platinum, or in Season 2, I should say. And so we'll get to learn Trap Tricks all together. Waiting on opponent response here. Having the Imperial Order does hinder this deck so much. It stops Soul Servant, it stops the Magical Circle, it stops Salvation. It's just a huge crutch to have it. So they go for the Magician's Navigation to try and negate the Imperial Order, which does work. But we have so many interruptions on our field to where whatever they play, it won't really matter. So they are adding the third Dark Magician. So they do have 3 Dark Magicians in play here. And we're kind of just waiting to see what they have going on. Let me move my cursor. I'm so sorry. Unlike the substitute teacher who doesn't know how to work the computer. Alrighty, so sitting on our board, really, the only play we currently have is just to interrupt the opponent's play, and we do have the Vespermanada to crash into a Dark Magician if we have to. Waiting on the response. They go into battle phase here, and they go into Sarah. Smart play. Sarah is definitely the lifeblood of this deck, as I've said before, and as I'll say many times. Sarah does really make this deck go. It allows you to go into your entire deck. And learning that is definitely... So they go into Eye of Timaeus here. Eye of Timaeus is a very good card. It allows you to get Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. And they actually go into the Dark Magicians, which really baffled me. Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight would have been such a better card, but they may just not be running it. And we don't floodgate it there just because we don't have anything. So Imperial Order is back into play now. And so thinking of a way to get over 2,800, we are able to summon Mantis. Mantis allows us to search for a Trap Tricks monster and just adds it to our hand. We'll grab Dionea, who can actually recur one from the graveyard. And we'll go into our Utopia here. We do run Utopia the Lightning. That is what some people will call the Utopia package. And so Utopia the Lightning is just a card that can get up to 5,000 attack. So it's just an easy way to get over really big boss monsters. And so getting over 2,800 is super easy with Utopia the Lightning, and we're able to do a ton of damage. So we'll just go into battle here. Activate Utopia the Lightning's effect. This is a pretty expensive package considering they're both URs. But luckily I was able to pull an actual just base Utopia, and so it really made having a Utopia the Lightning a little bit worth it. Alrighty. So 800 life points, we're at 42, and Imperial Order is activated. The opponent really doesn't have much they can do. They can activate some hand traps and stuff like that, that's fine. They will activate Palladium Oracle Mahad. This is a card that I don't really recommend running, just because it's a little slow in our Dark Magician deck. It is another name and it does work with Soul Servant, but you'll see here we are just able to Floodgate Trap Hole, and they really can't do anything to sit on it. Imperial Order does activate one more time. And so, really just sitting on their turn here. There's really nothing else they can do, so they do sit on the end phase. And we have Nadir Servant, and I honestly think I'm a little stupid And I think I activate this card with Imperial Order, so like I said, I'm just not paying attention to my field. So melee allows us to pop a card. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, Brody. Don't activate an Ender's Servant. You don't need it. You have game. Just end the game. This is me trying to play safe, so in case something does happen this turn, and I go ahead and activate an Ender's Servant. Looking at Imperial Order, I'm so stupid. Again, don't make the same mistakes I do. So we go into Vespanado here for piercing damage. They have 400, and then we'll end the game with Trap Trick Sarah. Actually, no. When the card's destroyed, it gets a Dark Magician. I'm sorry, I was one step ahead. So Dark Magician will be summoned. But we are just able to crash with our Utopia of the Lightning. A worthy trade to end the game, and then Trap Trick Sarah ends it. So that is Duel 1 with our Trap Tricks deck. I'm going to go ahead and let this play so we can see our rank up here, but that is the end of this video. That's the end of the duel here. Like I said, we are going to be running this Trap Tricks, or at least a variant of this Trap Tricks deck for the rest of the season. So thank you guys so much for the support. We've been growing pretty consistently, and we're at Silver 2 here, so I'm going to end the video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me. If you do want to like the video, you can. You can like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to, but it does make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside when you do. So, peace out, guys.